ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Aw, come on.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Imba Spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Needs assassin.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Invoker.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Well, they do have a warm-up game in their favor. It always helps to play a couple of matches before or most important one, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. But I'm sure by the same token, Faceless definitely had a lot to work with from their feat yesterday.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Well, Faceless making the adjustment. They picked the Nyx Assassin first this time.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Well, it's not really that. It's just that yesterday against or Faceless was drafting all of their supports like very, very early, and this time it's the other way around. This is I won't immediately say it's the offline Nyx, but potential. and offlane nicks. And how often do you see them? Actually, that's not true. They always draft Jabs
10
hero like
seconds remaining.
fairly early on too. But at least this time he gets to play the Invoker. Little
5 seconds remaining.
less difficult for it to get outmatched in the mid lane.
Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
That was like
5
their second time
seconds
running that
remaining.
draft, and Warriors Gaming, they were kind of playing it greedy, but to great
Dire
effect.
team ban.
At offlane Omni Knight getting banned out again.
Ten seconds remaining.
My favorite part about that build was it was
5 seconds remaining.
Sanj and Yasha Omni Knight. Yeah, it was Phase
Reserve
Boots.
time.
Phase Boots, Dominator, Sanj and Yasha.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, the one game
10
we saw, he was
seconds
against
remaining.
Clark and Rubik, I think, and it was just such an easy
5
lane for him.
seconds remaining.
Disruptor.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it's
5
definitely a great
seconds
pickup here,
remaining.
especially considering there's an Ember Spirit and also a Shadow Demon. It's a Doom.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, it made it work yesterday.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
The Undying wakes.
Dire team pick.
And it looks like Faceless are gonna be drafting fairly similar to yesterday's game, actually. Once again, it's like
10 seconds
very greedy
remaining.
lineup for Warriors Gaming, assuming we see like 2 more farming
5
cores.
seconds remaining.
Is the Jungle Doom. Faceless are gonna have to have like a
Reserve time.
super hard carry for the late game if they want to go that route again. If not that, then you mentioned to punish the Doom and end the game a little earlier.
Templar Assassin.
Warriors Gaming lost the time to pick the.
Radiant team ban.
Oh, yeah, they lost against the Wraith King.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Pretty sure it should be Nana playing it, because like you said,
Reserve time.
I always see Object playing the Spirit. TA against Invoker with a little bit of help. I mean, well, if the thing is with a little bit of help, it's pretty easy for TA. But even without any help, I think TA is like originally one of the best laners against Invoker. You can't really out harass a TA in the lanes Invoker.
Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining.
So far,
5
this draft is
seconds
like
remaining.
feeling very similar to yesterday's draft. This question is just whether or not Faceless are gonna
Reserve time.
be able to make this draft work with either a mega late carry or something that wants to punish this greedy lineup from Warriors Gaming.
Dire team pick.
Trying to think of some heroes. Maybe we'll see a Lycan here.
10 seconds remaining.
Legion Commander.
Radiant team pick.
Waiting for
10
his final
seconds
Faceless pick.
remaining.
They either go for something ultra late, like you said,
5
anti-mage,
seconds remaining.
or although to be fair, anti-mage is a little difficult to play against a Doom and an LC,
Reserve time.
so I don't think that's going to be picked up. Oh, that's right, huh? I'm like drawing blanks on heroes that can end the carries that can end the game early. Also drawing blanks on heroes that can actually carry against this team. And I don't know if Clinks is going to be enough for this team. I think you're just going to get owned. Oh, for sure, it can't be anti-mage anymore, or Luna, I think. You want either of those here. And while I did mention, still feeling like a little too all in, and it's probably something they haven't practiced considering it was only just added. Right, Faceless Void. Is this going to be enough? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think more than ever now, they need to have jabs. Get off to a good start.
Remaining.
Yeah.
Maybe like Ice said, a stomachache. The past 2 days.
For battle.
Part of this.
He seems a bit unsure in terms of where he wants the ward. Alright, here we go.
Both wards are used. Wow, this server ward being committed just to block the camp.
Does that work?
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, it's not uncommon. You see it from time to time.
Well, I'm just surprised that they commit an observer ward to block it.
Instead of a sentry.
Especially for a spot that doesn't do much.
Actually, what Nuts plays the safe lane, he gets to pull that spot quite a bit. Because most of the time, they do a very successful job zoning the hero into the jungle. And then Nuts is like, oh, I guess I just go pull now. So I wouldn't say it's useless, but you're right, it's observer committed instead of a sentry.
The battle begins.
think so. Shout even committed off the aim. Double tango. He's only down to one tango.
Oh, did he? No. He probably pulled mid tango. Tango mid. Ice 8-1. Yeah. The ice only has 3. Anyways, not the biggest deal. Mid lane, you said that this should be somewhat favorable to Nana. And we'll see if indeed that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, once he gets a refraction going, I'm pretty sure too much of the job. Gonna have to do a good job. Full.
Nope. Time's up. Refraction is up.
Well, I mean, obviously it doesn't mean like the lane's just impossible for you at this point, but this is where the lanes just get harder.
Ooh, bottom lane. Afu shows up the lane with an Alpha Wolf. Generally don't see it this early, because generally the Doom eats a big creep. And they were able to just kind of run at nuts a little bit.
Well, it's not only just that, it's just that sometimes you're just not lucky enough to find the Alpha Wolf. It's not exactly easy.
Right. We're seeing a lot
damage.
of the players kind of prefer the big creeps for guarantee experience. And yeah, you're right. Look at the mid lane. The CS differential, 9 CS, 6 to 9s to 2. My goodness, this Invoker is having a tough time.
Has always been, for a very long time, one of the lane winners against him.
Well, Jabs is very dutifully removing them refraction charges, but Sideblaze is gonna go to work.
Chases nuts all the way back to base, so this actually gives a lot of space to bend.
Yeah.
And we mentioned, you know, game, Jabs actually really needs to come online as possible. And already having a hard time, like no one's even coming to help him.
Oh.
In fact, he's
Oh my
getting
God.
bothered. That
Did you see
crit.
that damage?
Yeah,
Crit
that's
in
the
front
Alpha
of
Wolf
play.
crit.
Oh, is he gonna dump that creep? I think he's looking for any creeps that won't give him an ability.
Yeah. I think he wants to hold on to it, but unfortunately for him, he's gonna find
there's
nothing but
nothing.
Centaur.
I mean, just go back to lane and eat a lane creep, I guess. But that's a good like 20-second on his Doom timer, or sorry, the Devour timer that he's not. Is he gonna go back to his jungle? Is there? There's nothing. There's nothing that he could eat. That's not bad.
Feels bad.
Sometimes
go eat a
you
lane
wish
creep.
there's just less abilities on these creeps, you know?
He would have to go all the way back into his jungle and eat Wildkin. Doesn't want to remove it. That's like the only thing, yeah. Mid lane again. Coming in. He really should have gotten to level 3 first, I feel, if possible.
Yeah, I think if he has fire, he gets to probably kill Jabs, honestly.
Yeah,
Or-
I mean, especially with the Alpha Wolf aura, I'm pretty sure he can just run anyone over.
Yeah. Especially Jabs not having quaffs, so like no Ghost Walk, no Cold Snap, that kind of stuff. This is what he was doing a lot of yesterday though, like walking around and technically creating space but not really doing much.
He is stealing bounty runes at least, so there is that.
That's his duty, this job, taking every bounty rune. Sunstrike up top here, Ajit will take it, but not gonna be enough to get the kill. Ajit probably needs to walk all the way back to base here. And X Nova might get tower doved.
Well, I guess on the bright side, you know, this mid lane is still okay for Jabs. He's not having the greatest time, but it's still passable. The safe lane for Warriors Gaming is suffering a bit, because Nyx Assassin is just putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how Nyx is actually beating the Ember Spirit, but I guess the Undying is probably the...
Yeah, they're undying.
bigger reason.
This dual lane is just what really pressuring. Not just the Nyx.
3 minutes later, Afu still has not used Devour yet. It's Oh, there's a creep. Go, go, go.
Now's his chance. He's not doing it.
You just forget or what?
Be a little careful here. They do have that glimpse. A little too fast with the scorched earth, and I guess the more important thing is no devour.
Yeah, I'm
Who?
just watching that.
We're chasing him.
Glimpse him away. Wow, that was a long one. No fire. Could probably just walk to the shrine.
No, he's
Oh,
dead. Into XY. Level 2 decay, too much.
yeah.
Blood going towards Faceless' way.
Top lane disruption is flying through, but there's a TP coming in here from XY. XY's everyone. Sunstrike turn around. Ah, shit! Gonna be close. No body block. Ooh, nice root here. And Ice coming in as well. He won't die. Maybe one more decay. XY's out of mana. Nice spike coming through and impale. Nicely
what a
done
play.
here by Ice. Good bait. Not sure about that by Xnova because honestly, he wasn't gonna be close to killing Ice, especially with that Pro Man shield. Bottom lane, Ben barely survives from a gank and a walk away.
Strike is available. Not gonna have enough damage to kill him, so. The worth-wise, looks like Faces are pulling ahead a tiny bit, but EXP-wise, Warriors Gaming also a tiny bit ahead. So far, so.
Might see a gank. Okay, might see a gank on the mid lane here. The boulder creep is available. That nuke's pretty hard, man.
Like, all creeps to get rid of. Yes, the mud ball for the pearl boulder. I don't know if that's worth.
I mean, it's not bad ganking, but it's no alpha wolf. Trap's gonna fly out.
Here we go.
Here. Oh,
Jumping in, here comes that boulder.
No.
Alright, why did I doubt him?
Yeah, the
Pearl
hurl boulder
boulder.
definitely a lot more useful than Boulder Bash. Or,
Well,
sorry,
the nice thing about it is just that it doesn't cost any mana. Thing about it, because
Yes.
everything else just is too mana intensive.
Radiant's middle tower
Have you ever
is
spammed that
under
heal from the Tro Priest?
Yeah, I have. It's like the worst thing ever. I don't like to
And it
wait
gives you
half a year.
It gives you a mana regen aura. That's actually not bad.
That's the important part. Heal is actually terrible. Mana regen is great.
All right, Faces supports.
now.
Looking for a smoke. I think they want a kill here on Ben.
Oh, top lane solo kill by Nyx Assassin.
What's happening
that
here? How's
vendetta.
that even?
Well, he did
even
hit
pos-
6. Got out. It's over.
Ben taking a ton of that damage, and that's gonna be a kill. All right, the lanes apart from the mid lane going extremely well for Faceless. I guess the top lane going well was thanks to Jab Sunstrike. I that's probably what happens. Like, because without Sunstrike, I just don't see the solo kill happening.
Go. Fastest DC.
Remember yesterday somebody DC'd and they unpaused and their teammate died?
That was funny. TP's coming in. Glimpse. They got him.
Turn on the fire. He's got that boulder bash for the tombstone as well as the right click from the invoker. Give him more boulder
There's still
bash.
double boulder. Be real, it wasn't gonna kill him.
Give him the harassment to do some damage.
Patient from Faceless.
Yeah. I guess this is kind of like standard Faceless play, right? Especially by XY. Kind of is just everywhere, all the time.
Well, to be fair, Nuts is actually showing up for a lot of these important pickoffs as well. He's 1-0-2. Definitely a lot of credit to him as well. But once again, like, this is, I would say, kind of expected for the Faceless lineup, considering how farm heavy the Warriors Gaming team is. They're gonna have to maintain this, like, for pretty long duration of the game. Draw out the lead even further. They want to ensure their victory in the late game.
I actually think that their lineup is really well designed for that. Because think of the matchup, right? Like Ember Spirit, as the game goes on, needs to actually just farm creeps quite a bit. And Nyx Assassin to me is probably the best ganker against Ember Spirit. And we might see it here.
Dire's middle
There's a Sentry War though. But he's still gonna go for it. Spike's gonna get him. Sunstrike's gonna be there. They need a defensive disruption. No. Ajit eats a big combo. But like imagine Ember just farming the mid game. That is gonna get him. The Nyx and the Sunstrike. And then of course, WG obviously has a lot of these single target initiation with Doom as well as Duel, but I feel like Chronosphere is perhaps the ultimate counter to that kind of playstyle. So I feel like Faceless has the heroes to kind of elongate the game like you said and go for a late game victory. And it's going to be really up to WG to make big plays to fight themselves back into the game.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, here we go. Got a glimpse.
Yep. That's
like
gonna
another
be...
death.
And he looks so squishy.
Because he is. 1 armor. Not to mention getting decayed as well.
Yep.
Dire's structures are fortified.
He's going for Hannah Midas again, by the way. Size getting 3-man ganked up here. We'll go down to Nana.
I saw that ending from miles away.
Nana's coming close to that blink dagger, only 100 away. Has a nice stack for himself as well.
Double damage.
Well, Black is free farming now for a bit, but where has Ben gone? Went into the jungle.
Jungling?
He's gonna go back to that armlet.
Yeah, we saw him having very good success yesterday. He just kind of exited the lane without with an armlet. And then once he got Blink, he looked to shut down the anti-mage over and over again. I would not say Ben is having that kind of start this game though. In fact, far from it. Like, I think even the armlet queued up is maybe a bit, like, too overzealous. I think maybe he just needs to go for Blink instead.
Well, that seems to be... Warriors Gaming just seems to be, like, content with farming into the late game. Like you said, who going for that Midas. Oh, they're trying to bait out Ice.
Yeah. Dust is gonna
Ice
fly
Ice.
out. And
It's very, very dead.
gonna get chained. What? 2-man impale? Disable's over on this side. Ajay might need to triple Remnant for this kill or something. He's walking next to him, burning him out a little bit. Double Remnant coming in, maybe one more. Chain again here. Ajay essentially solo kills him.
Yeah. I don't know. Has that blink dagger now.
Yeah. He's actually the good saving grace for WG because he is the one that's doing super well. Look at the net worth differential. He is 2,000 go ahead of the Invoker.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And if he gets a blink dagger to punish Jabs, that's going to be good. Jabs staying under the tower. Roller bash coming through and Jabs trades his life for the tower, and I'm not sure if that's worth it.
I don't know if that is either.
I'm going to say no.
At least he does get the tower.
Almighty money.
And at least his Midas is
Never refuse.
not on cooldown, but he is gonna have to wait a couple of seconds. Sure it is. Oh no, actually no, it's not. Sorry, gotta go.
Speaking of Midas, Doom's got a Midas as well. And judging on how he's never using Devourer, so the Midas probably won't be used either. Just a shining hand.
No. This one is more important. He's gonna use this one, surely.
Nope.
Well, he doesn't
wants to
want
set
to
up-
reveal his position.
Yeah, he wants to set up a gank onto DC Go.
What? Once again, I guess it's just they don't use the term DC. Oh, that's what he was using the Midas for. The Helm of the Dominator
Yep.
creep.
Eat that creep, so he doesn't get it. Oh, he dominated.
But Devour's on cooldown.
Oh, I see.
Among the
So far, game is like pretty much dead even, but in terms of net worth at least. But Warriors Gaming are like 2,000 experience ahead, which is kind of surprising because we mentioned like Warriors Gaming is doing exactly the same thing they did yesterday, just Pretty much essentially farming up 4 cores. Oh, here we go,
Alright,
bottom.
they're gonna focus on Ben. Chronosphere is available. They glimpse him back right into on top of the Static Storm. He's gonna try to TP out.
Oh, instant ban.
Sunstrike? Gonna be there. I think that they didn't even have to use Chronosphere. Alchid has ported in. It looks like they want to fight this. They have to Doom up Black to actually make it work, but
they're pinging it out. They know
yeah, they
someone's
see
here.
Afu. They see Afu. Not exactly sure how they know Afu's here, but they see him.
Well, they're not going to challenge it. They definitely expect something is up here. Too confident, especially since Static Storm is down and the Tombstone is down. They're just going to back off. And I think that is the right play here.
All right, Hand of Midas here being purchased on Ice, which is that. This one's not surprising at all. A fairly common build. Bottom lane though, XY pops off a 2-man decay, trying to scare them away. Nobody's going anywhere just yet. Disruptors.
They have to be
the
careful
trees.
here. I think Faceless might actually just lose both their supports here if they stay.
Well, they do have the Chronosphere as a backup though. We're gonna see a jump in, blink, impale, or sorry, Chronosphere. That's gonna be onto, well, a lot of people. The Duke's gonna fly out onto the Void that has already used Chrono. Disruption's gonna use defensively. Nana in a lot of trouble is gonna walk away. The Refraction's gonna be there. The right click going on Nana. Press the attack not gonna be enough to save him. Now the go goes off the Invoker. Invoker is gonna lose the duel. And like you said, they are gonna get absolutely overrun under this tower. Nut's gonna try to TP out. Is there any way to cancel that TP? No. He makes it out of there, but it's a 3-for-1 engagement. Faceless did get the highest network here on the map, but they did lose a lot in doing so.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that they went with that because they just didn't have the cooldowns necessary for that kind of defense, and it was very reliant on both of the cores TPing in at the same time. Kind of made them funnel in one by one. They very, very risky defense coming off from Face. Pay the price.
I thought the Chronosphere plus Sunstrike would have given the 5v4 advantage, but I kind of underestimated how tanky these WG heroes are.
The most important thing actually was that Nova disrupted Nana to dodge the Sunstrike. Right. So that really delayed like how long it took to kill off Nana, and that was like probably the most important thing in that team fight. Just delaying Nana's death and giving the time Warriors Gaming needed. Kill off everyone else.
Yeah, I was actually doubting Ben's item choices with the armlet first, saying that it's a bit greedy, but I think the armlet was pretty crucial in terms of getting the damage against the Invoker to necessarily get the kill. And because he did get the kill, now he's halfway to the Blink Dagger, so its effectiveness in this game is going to be much, much higher than the usual LC.
Yeah, he actually got a lot of it all. I mean, if you look at the CS, he's like pretty much up there. He's actually tied with the Invoker and the Void.
Pretty decent if you ask me.
He's damn farmed. Then see, Faceless, or not Faceless, Black, he's got that Shadow Blade build queued up, and I think this is actually really good build for this.
Impale right out of invisibility, and right now Shadow Demon trying to get off that disruption. It's gonna fly through, dodging most of them spells, and now the gank's gonna go the other direction. Oh wait, looks like he's gonna be fine.
They have to be careful here though. All of Warriors Gaming coming in.
Nana
they do get Nana.
Too long and gets to Soul Rip, and now Doom walks right in there without the Fire Chandler. He's gonna be dead. Yields into a Centaur Stomp, and the right clicks will commence here. WG loses 3, will lose 4 with the glimpse back in. Well, Nana definitely overestimated his survivability. And this is very reminiscent of the first game that we saw today, where Faceless, not having the best game, and suddenly just wins a huge team fight.
I'm really shocked that that managed to happen. Like, I seriously believe that Warriors Gaming could have cut their losses there, but Nana, he turns around and I guess he was like very, very close to Refraction. Not quite close enough. Ends up getting sniped.
Yeah, I don't think he expected the dying coming out of trees, right? I mean, time and time again, XY shows that Soul Rip is just a beast of a spell. Like, it's only level 2 right now, but it nukes super hard.
Yep, definitely. That, well, Faceless secured themselves another, like, pretty huge victory. That was, like, I think they definitely need. They just lost at bottom.
Yep. And the Gograph rapidly ascends himself. That was a 4,000 network fight.
Time is money.
And XY, damn, he's got quite a bit of farm on this Undying.
Yep.
Finished his mech already, and he's working his way towards that that pipe.
I think this is more of like a Hood and then back to Greaves.
Yeah, I actually think you're right.
But Pipe is gonna be pretty decent this game, eventually, especially against the Ember Spirit.
Nana has the Deso finished. He's off from last team fight. Doesn't really mean too much if you're not able to hit anything.
What do you think about his decision of going Hurricane Pike here or Dragonlance instead of like straight BKB?
I think both are pretty necessary, but I would definitely say that BKB is this a better item overall, but it's also one of those items where you just don't want to get too early.
It's a risky buy. If you lose fights with it now, then the game could be over.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I guess this is still okay. You definitely want the BKB, but at the same time you are dealing with a Void.
Right.
Void's damage output isn't quite enough to just kill you by himself just yet.
What do you think
Black?
about Black's build? He's been going the exact same build every time he plays Faceless Void, and I don't think this build is bad or anything. It's just that this build sorely lacks a Lincoln Sphere against what he's up against, and it's a bit awkward to kind of fit it in a little bit later on because I think as a third or fourth item, you really want like big damage items.
I think it's actually okay this build, or for this game. I think he only goes this build whenever there's Invoker on the team, because like he can basically pick off on his own, right? He can Lothar's in, find the pick off, Chrono, and then use that Sunstrike. I would have to assume that if he didn't have the Invoker, it would be a different story.
Right. So I guess what you're saying is he's not really too worried about what they're doing to him. He just wants to be able to do his own game plan. We'll see
and
whether
it's still great for him to help him position in these team fights. Right, we might see engagement here. Radiant make us scan out someone.
Creep is gonna scout a couple of people, gets eaten immediately. Blink Impale does hit on the TA. Here comes Afu, but good spike's gonna keep it in place. No Static Storm just yet. And Tombstone is gonna get brought down. Static Storm has been used. A lot of these abilities kind of whiffing. And now it's going to be up to WG to actually catch a couple of people if they can find them. Nuts, very slow down, blinking forward. Ember jumps back out, kind of afraid, maybe trying to bait out Chronosphere or something. Doom coming out from the top side, looking for the Doom. Is going to fly out against Ice, Ice, Ice. He get dunked. Inferno. Ooh, a lot of these Invoker abilities just doing absolutely nothing. And now the side blade doing a ton of work as well. Ben coming in on the right side, looking for a duel. Will find one of the Nuts. The Glimpse will take him away, so they're going to run to each other like lovers. And now it's going to be Nuts going down. No, he pops the Magic Wand. It's going to be okay. But meanwhile, the rest of the team is still on the run. Black walking away. Nana finds him. I think the team fight is over. No, they still find one more. Invoker goes down as well. That was the longest chase. And it might not be over yet. Ice 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 did eat the Doom to begin off, but will snipe one on the way out. Nicely done by Ice Ice Ice. So at the end of the team fight, it's a 4-for-1 engage. But WG getting a big team fight victory, getting a tier 2 tower, and showing up the power of the mid game.
What a disastrous team fight for Faceless. They, like you said, they just whiffed all their spells. They used Static Storm, didn't accomplish anything to it. It seemed like they were just miscommunicating.
Yeah.
One person wanted to fight, the other person just wanted to run.
Tombstone was dropped like very early as well, which didn't help at all.
And then they, after whiffing every single spell, they tried to get away, but looks like Afu managed to doom the Nyx and force the entire Faceless team to commit to save him. I guess they
really
did,
hard to run away from like blink duel, blink traps, blink chains. Like there's so much chase on the side of WG. I think that holds true for both teams, right? Both teams are very good at like holding their ground and fighting, not very good at running from the other team. Sunstrike set up for the kill, bang! Look at that.
Black still has the Chronosphere though.
He's gonna Chrono right now. There is no save. Ajit trying to do something for the team, but this TA is dead to rights here. 2 pickups back to back, and they're gonna go straight into the Roshan pit. I think if they get this Aegis, they're now back in the lead. This game is really, really back and forth.
This kind of shows you how even the game is. As long as the spells aren't missed and used properly, then I think the game should be fairly even. That last team fight was just Faceless misusing all of their abilities, not coordinating it very well.
Roach dropping fast here. Aegis is gonna get taken here by the Invoker, and they do find one. That's gonna be Ben. Ben just gets absolutely destroyed. He tries to blink in and Doom, but gets Tornado up. Apu looking for the Doom, does find it on the Void, but Void, he's
That's
looking
the
right.
Aegis carrier.
Yeah, he's got Aegis. He doesn't even have Chronosphere. It doesn't even matter. Apu just dies. He will trigger the Aegis of the Immortal. Now Ice blinking forward. That was not a very good fight for WG, and Faceless rolling with the momentum. I think they could go down mid and take a tier 2.
That was such a risky Warriors Gaming. I guess they just really fear the
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Faceless having or fighting into an Aegis. I guess they would rather fight into them without an Aegis and actually make some sacrifice to get rid of it in this team fight.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Well, it's not just a couple of hero sacrifices, it's also lots of net worth going the other direction. And this graph is really unsure, you know, who's actually ahead. As it is teetering
Huge
back and
mountain.
forth. Yep.
Making dips. Like Black is deciding on here now.
Okay.
Worrying
No.
about that because Doom has a Blink Dagger, so being doomed is not entirely out of the question.
Yeah, Doom is actually having very like bad time. Every time he blinks in, he either blinks into like an Impale or blinks into a Spike Carapace, that kind of stuff. I wonder if he is gonna get a mid-game BKB just to kind of get rid of all that trouble. And looks like he does have one queued up right as we speak. And speaking for his Black's build, I was like questioning whether the Lincoln Sphere will slow down his damage output, but at least from the time being, he seems to be hitting pretty hard. Like,
yeah, it's definitely not bad. Like Shadow Blade is not a bad damage item by any means. 30 attack speed, 22 damage is definitely passable.
SISI setting up bait here for his team.
Time is money.
Afu and Ben, they're gonna fall for this bait. Maybe this is looking to defend a tier 1 or something. You do see Invoker kind of farming on his own.
I don't think they go for this. It should be fairly obvious to them that
Dire's bottom tower
entire Faceless team was moving.
Yep.
Dire's structures are
It's just so unsafe for an Invoker to farm it like that.
Afu coming in position. He's looking for either the Doom or either Jabs or Black with this Doom, and I think they actually want to make a pincer movement of some sort. Afu rushing his team over, but the position is like quite awkward. Couple of traps goes off on Nuts. He's somewhat afraid.
They find
Blinking forward, they
X-Nova.
see
This is a
Shadow
big kill.
Demon. Shadow Demon instead. Blink Doom on the back line though. Did find the Invoker Chronosphere. Getting both
Beautiful
cores.
Chronosphere.
Stormo on the back line though does actually get one, and now Nana on the back line looking for the right click. He's still good focusing on Black, but Black doesn't care. He's still right
They need
clicking
to
forward.
focus Nana right now.
The Blink Duel is gonna
You find
fly
her.
off here, but the Yule Scepter finds them up in the air. They don't do enough damage, and they're gonna be dead. It's gonna be the last one alive. It's gonna be Ajit. Ajit blinks away, but Jab blinking forward, Yules them up in the air, and through the Doom, they do not get the kill. The first hit basher by Black. It's a 5-for-1 engagement. All they've lost is Nuts. Faceless, off the back of every successful engagement, will take more and more towers. And now
That
they're
was
looking
just
to move
such a-
high ground.
That was just such a beautiful start to the fight with coming from Ice. Just like immediately picking up this Shadow Demon. If you lose your Shadow Demon, you cannot lose your Shadow Demon. It's so important because it's like the only way you're gonna save any of these cores from a Chronosphere, or even a Cold Snap, or any kind of disable.
I mean, the problem is there's just so much pressure for the Shadow Demon to play for the team, especially when he has no items. Like, this is not a Shadow Demon with Blink or Aetherland, so he has to walk fairly close to the fight. And by doing so, like, he's really long-range initiator with the Blink Yules or the Tornado. Pick him up, and then he's just dead.
Dire's middle tower.
Like you said, without the Shadow Demon, this team just falls flat. Faceless looking to take 2 Raxes right now. And they will be able to take it. Shadow Demon gets spiked here again.
Is he dead
Right click.
again?
Yes,
Oh
yes
my
he is. X Nova not having a good day right now, and Faceless, they don't need you back. They can keep going.
Surrender.
Chrono's up in 20 seconds.
Dyer's
They
middle
gonna do
barracks
this?
has
Nope, they're
fallen.
backing up. All right,
Yeah.
it's time to take the shrine.
The tier 2 is still up on the top lane. If there wasn't a tier 2, I'm pretty sure they kept going there, but it will take
Yeah,
the
I think so
shrine.
too.
And this particular game is... Wait, Ice. Is he really gonna try to snipe X-Nova in the base in front of his fountain? This would be a Ice move.
All right, let's hope on it. It'll be great.
Oh my god.
Oh
Ice,
my goodness.
Have some mercy.
Oh,
mercy. Nope, no
Oh,
mercy.
that is so insulting.
Remember that CM the other day? I was like thinking about...
Oh, this is
Go
no
GG! Dude, that was the play of the game, not gonna lie, man. That was like Xavier Charles, get out of my head kind of play, man. Like, oh my god. By the way, that
That was the
Crystal Maiden
funniest
game
play.
from like 3 days ago, that was also X-Nova. Just, I don't know, taking the Milk Award to another level, but this is rough. This is a rough game.